Hey YouTube. Sorry about the messed up start. Um, so I usually make videos on here in my office, and if you're interested in that, you could check out my other videos. I have about 32 here in my office videos, and this video. Let me just check to make sure this is. Let me make sure this is running. Yeah. So I'm a bipolar 1 patient or individual, whatever you want to call it. I have bipolar 1, and I wanted to make a video just to show you what it's like. And I've seen other videos on YouTube of people who have bipolar 1 disorder, and they chronicle their life. But for me, I have hiccups right now. I can tell you that bipolar 1 disorder is not that bad. It's not that bad. Manic episodes occur within years. I mean, we're not talking about being manic all the time. I'm not manic right now, but I have been for periods of my life in the last couple of years, and I've taken olanzapine and Risperidone to try to stop those feelings. And being manic is great, guys. I mean, it makes you feel like Superman. It makes you feel like you're more superior than everybody else. And but the problem is you're not superior to everybody else. When you're manic, it's all in your head, guys. You know, you're not really superior. You're not a celebrity. You're not everything you think you are. And being bipolar, you don't recognize that. And you live your life like it's nobody's business. Like you think like there's no problems, but in the actuality of it all, your friends and your family notice that you're behaving bizarrely. You're having delusions of grandeur, and that all happens when you're bipolar 1. You can't help it. You're gonna think that you're like king of the world, and you're not. So it's tough. I mean, I haven't had a bipolar episode in months, but I've had a couple bipolar mania episodes. One was when I was on my honeymoon and I was in Hollywood, and I thought people were following me, and I thought that people were against me, and it really affected the way I lived, and it upset me. But the second bipolar episode I had, I put most of the blame on my brother-in-law, who actually blocked me on he blocked me on Twitter, and if you guys want to check me out, I'm Anthony Ron 82 on Instagram and Facebook. I think on Facebook. I don't know. But yeah, you may and I also during my bipolar episode lashed out against my aunt, my Aunt Beth, who God bless her. I didn't mean any negative. I didn't mean to do what I did, but I made a lot of nasty accusations against her. Called her a pedophile. Yeah, you heard me right, a pedophile. So I was really when I was bipolar 1 manic, living a life of bipolar. I was making accusations against family members. You could only imagine what damage it would do to just your life when you start lashing out against family members. I feel terrible. I told her after I came out of it, I said I was mortified about the things I said about her when I was manic. And it's terrible. It's terrible, guys. Bipolar mania will just, at least for me, it put me in a state of mind that was just completely detached from reality. And I was talking about things that happened in my life when I was 12 years old, and I'm 37 now. So at the age of 37, actually at the age of 36, I was going back to things that happened when I was 10, 12 years old, and lashing out at those people on Instagram. And I did that on Instagram, and they fired back at me, and it's just very embarrassing, guys. In the age of social media, to have bipolar disorder with social media available, you could really make a total ass of yourself. And I made a total ass of myself, guys. I accused my aunt of being a pedophile, and I feel terrible about that. She's struggling, and she's got her own problems, and I lashed out at her. And to be honest with you, at this point, I haven't made amends with her. She's been in town. She lives out of town, fortunately. So there hasn't been any run-ins. But the shit that I said about her, about my own aunt, and my own sister. I didn't call my sister a pedophile, but I basically said that if she steps foot on my property, I'm gonna call the police, her or her husband. And I was very she was very compassionate when I was having my bipolar mania, and I ended up in the hospital, and I was in the hospital for a month. She was very apathetic, but I was very against her, and I said this on social media, and social media is powerful, you guys. So don't underestimate the power of social media. In fact, when I was manic at my, I guess when I was bipolar manic, I ended up, in jail. I ended up in a mental institution, and I ended up having police come to my house, interview me, and take me away. Take me away, and put me in a mental institution like a fucking 1930s committed person. I was committed for the ways that I acted, and it's just terrible, you guys. I mean, I tried at the time. I thought that I was the king of the world. I thought I was on top of everything, and it was just all in my head. It's not true. So when you're bipolar manic, you're bipolar 1, you're gonna think that you're like the king of the world. You're gonna think that you can make music that's the best music in the world. You're gonna think you might think that you have all the answers. You might think that you're the king of the world, but it's all in your head, guys. And I think back to all this stuff, and I'm taking Risperidone, 2 milligrams a day, and I think back to all the ways that I acted, and I think, God damn, I was out of my mind. It's true. I was out of my mind. And I'm talking into the camera to tell you guys, it's not easy to admit this stuff, that you were out of your mind. Like, you thought people were coming after you. You thought that you had powers that were made no sense. You thought that you were the top of the world. You thought you were the best internal auditor, the best anything, guys. But it's all the illness. It's all the illness. You're trying to you can't think clearly. And that's the truth. And during this whole episode, I lost my job. I was making $140,000 a year, and that's a lot. I don't care where you live. That's a lot of money. And I took my bipolar disorder to work, and I said to work, I think that these people are against me. I think these people are trying to get into my life, and I raised some human resources cases against these people. I didn't have a bad relationship with these people. I normally related with these people, but like because I was bipolar, I thought, fuck these people. They're against me. They're my enemy. So I'm gonna make. So I'm going to blow them into human resources and make an issue out of that. But what I didn't know, that was my ultimate undoing. I mean, those things I did led to my termination, and I have a wrongful termination suit because I was bipolar. A wrongful termination suit against my company, and that's in process. But guys, bipolar sucks. And you know what? I read that it affects only about 1% of the population. 99. So fucking you meet 100 people, only one person is going to have experienced bipolar disorder. So it's rare. It's actually very rare. And it's very rare. Because when you think about it, there's a 99% chance you're not going to be bipolar. There's a 99% chance you won't have bipolar. So to everybody out in the world, it's unusual, and I'm dealing with it. And if you have bipolar disorder, I just want you to know, I know it's very hard, and it can fuck up your life. Like me, like I had a really good life, guys, before this happened. I was like I said, I was making six figures, $140,000 a year, and I was doing a good job. I was rated as a top performer at my job. But what happened was I had a manic episode where I basically tried to destroy all my relationships, including work. And they fired me. They said, "Hey, Anthony, the way you behaved when you were acquiring your mortgage, I got a mortgage from the same company I work at, but I was acting so bipolar and manic. I was calling them motherfuckers. I flipped out. I really flipped out during the mortgage process of getting this home that I live in right now, and it fucked everything up. And HSBC, the bank, took action against me and said, "Hey, the way you behaved, the way I behaved while I was bipolar manic, was grounds for termination," and they fired me. So I lost my job due to bipolar mania because I was in a manic state when I lost my job, and it's well, anyway, it's grounds for wrongful termination because it's a disability. This is a disability like anything else, like a spinal cord injury or a goddamn anything, man. It's a disability. So there's a thing called the EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and they help people who have disabilities and disorders and lose their job. And I'm in the process of filing with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. I'm in the process of filing with the EEOC to tell them that I was terminated because I have a disability, and that I took to my attorney because I have a wrongful termination lawsuit. I have a wrongful termination lawsuit in process. So the reasons why I lost my job are because of bipolar disorder, and them making the decision to fire me based on how I acted while I had bipolar disorder is grounds for a wrongful termination lawsuit. So I'm in the process of getting that lawsuit handled, and it's just shit, guys. So it's taken a long time. It's been 9 months since I first filed with, or until I first contacted an attorney about what's going on, and yeah. But I do have some good prospects. A local bank reached out to me. They want to have an interview, and I'm happy to do that. So thanks, guys. This is kind of a weird video. I don't know how I'm gonna name it. It's not really here in my office because we're not really talking much about my job, but it's mostly about my disorder. So I'm gonna call this like a Risperidone Bipolar 1 video because I have bipolar 1 and I take Risperidone to manage the symptoms, and it's just really shitty. So guys, thanks for watching, guys. I will make another video. Watch my Here in My Office videos. I can make a link in the description here. I have a lot of videos of my job prospects, my job interviews, and I've had a lot of interviews with large companies like Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, the most boutique investment company in the world, and Walmart. Got really close with these guys on getting a job, but it didn't happen. But yeah, check it out, guys. Check out Here in My Office. I'll put a couple links at the end of this video to get you guys up to speed on what's going on with my career. But right now I'm unemployed. I'm looking for a job. So check out my career. Check out my job videos about finding a good career. And thanks for watching, guys. All right, have a good day.